and later. Yes. Okay, are there any other burning questions? Oh yeah, there are. Okay, let's start here.
If we create a community advocacy group of people who are properly motivated, properly educated, properly prepared to do those types of conversations, will your company work with us?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, I volunteer to be the president.
In the black hat.
My question is, you're not a data center or actually building company, is that correct? You're a solar power company.
100%.
And also BESS also?
Correct.
Or would that be another company that's coming in?
No, we do solar and batteries.
So you do the solar battery. You said the power is going to APCO, is that correct?
That is correct.
And then from APCO, do you know if that power is going to data centers?
Not to my knowledge, no. I don't know of any data centers being proposed in Cochise County right now.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's
APCO is Arizona G&T, so they're the larger utility that sells the power to Sulphur Springs. So in a lot of these smaller co-ops, they have a parent G&T, and that's where they buy their power from. It goes way back.
Okay, so the power could go to SSPDC.
100%. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you said that a property value study is kind of worthless done before the project. So let's say this project gets built and all of our property values decrease by 10%. What do you guys propose about that type of a situation? I mean,
So I will say, in my experience, I'm going to show you guys something. Hold on a second. There's a delay. Okay, so there's a lot of different studies that have been done out there on how it affects property values. There are some situations that I've read where property values go down 3 to 5% in the first couple of years. Those scenarios are when it's directly adjacent, say a couple hundred feet, and you can visually see it, and it's a sea of panels in your backyard. We did do visual simulations. I'm actually going to go back so I can show you exactly. Wait, what's going on? Okay, so I'm even having a hard time seeing. So this is 2.
Could we reestablish the question, please? Was the question if the property value decreases,
yeah,
what do they do about it?
yeah, I'm sure they have.
Okay, so we did some visual simulations, which I think this is super important. So right here in the middle, I wish I had a pointer. Right there in the middle is an existing substation. Do you guys see that on the east side?
Yes.
With the white circle?
At the bottom, you mean?
No, it's the red, like red little blocks next to 25.
Oh, okay.
You don't have a pointer, do you?
I don't. Do we have a pointer by chance? Do we have a pointer? No.
On the fire station, come on, somebody's got a full cube.
So there's an existing substation out there. If you can't see that substation from your property, you will not see this project. That substation is much taller than anything that we're going to build. Does that work? No, it doesn't work. Okay.
It just might not be showing up because it's light.
Oh, look at that. That's fun. Okay. Now we're talking. So this substation, if you can't see this substation, you will not see this project. The substation is significantly taller than anything that we are building. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just to give a sense. So I want to show you something else. So this, we did some visual simulations. A picture was taken here. And let me go to 2. There's a slight delay. So this purple.
Could you please tell us what street this is off of? Okay, thank you.
No, it's farther to the south. I'll go back to that in just one second. So do you guys know where these poles are?
Chief Joseph, yeah, Chief Joseph.
There you go. So this purple, I brought it into the forefront. I didn't do this. Somebody else did this. A professional did this. This purple, the top of this is the top of the panels and the batteries.
So will you be going in on Chief Joseph also then?
We will not be going in on Chief Joseph.
You go down Horse Thief Draw?
We will not be going down Horse Thief Draw either. Let me get out of here and go back to something.
They may go right next to it.
Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. This will work. Okay, you guys. I think I got it. Okay, so this is Horse Thief Draw. Our access point will be 250 to 300 feet north of Horse Thief Draw. There's significant vegetation in between where our road is and Horse Thief Draw Road is. Yes, ma'am?
How many mesquite trees are you going to be taking down to put those panels up? Because right now you can't see the panels because of mesquite trees. But when you take all the mesquite trees down, then you're going to see panels.
Right, so all of this land right here in between, like this zone in here, this is state land, so there's a quarter of a mile of mesquite trees that will remain
That's it.
All the way down, or just in that one area?
in this area through here.
So all the rest of it's going to take down mesquite trees.
It's going to take down mesquite trees.
Cooling down, it's going to take it all out.
Where there are panels, the mesquite trees are coming out, that is correct.
We'll wipe them all out.
Yes, ma'am?
The people who live on Homestead Road, how far will the panels start from their property line backyard?
So this is Homestead Road. This distance is 3/4 of a mile. Yes, sir.
You said all of these studies are available, are they all available? You said all the studies were done.
They are all just wrapping up, so they're not yet available.
Studies identifies what? Specifically, when you said studies are done,
Studies are the environmental studies, the hydrology
it
studies.
is an environmental impact statement. Is that correct?
I wouldn't call it an environmental impact statement, but there's various reports that look at all environmental aspects.
The environmental survey has not been done.
It is underway.
Well, I just want to make sure we're clear on our terms, because we say environmental studies, that's one thing. If we say environmental impact statement, that means specifically, what does it mean to you as a property owner, what does it do to your well,
Well, and
what
that's,
does it do to your roads, your
right.
power
It's
grid?
right next to it, it's not, they're gonna go over next to our stuff, so that's fine. Yeah, they're gonna go up to us, and then we'll, we have a bad road as it is already.
Yes, ma'am.
Environmental impact statements take 2 to 3 years, are done by a third-party agency, vetted by the government, vetted by the community.
Yes.
Sir, that's an environmental impact study that's done for the federal government as part of NEPA compliance. We don't have any federal nexus here, so we will not be doing a full environmental impact study. But a lot of people use those words synonymously in how you're environmentally evaluating the impact on the environment, yes.
But an environmental survey has to be done, or needs to be done. So the impact and survey are two different.
We are doing a full biological evaluation, yes.
How do I find that information?
All of this will be submitted to the city as part of our site plan process.
Mr. City Representative, how will we as citizens have access to that?
Okay, as she mentioned, she laid out a schedule, they're working on their submittal, which will include the studies that she referenced. It's public record, all you have to do is, we have new software for making public information requests, or you can just call me, I'll give you my card, we can, depending on file size, email it to you, or you can pick it up at City Hall and inspect those records.
Is it possible you're gonna be able to put it on the website? That's how
I'm
most
just
people
trying to
get
think,
it.
yeah,
That,
because,
I have for other projects developed a project website where people can access information, and I think that's an appropriate thing to do here.
okay.
Yes.
So it sounds like there'll be a project website developed where you can go, access, and download the information that will be included in the overall submittal package.
Do you want your floaty back? What does the fire department do with the floaty? Yes, sir, in the black hat.
I think your lease on the property is a 30-year contract, is that correct? And number one, if it is correct, is it your business plan? Then to look at an extension of that 30-year thing into perpetuity, so it either continues on as an array of panels, or it morphs into whatever technology follows that, but on that property. That make sense?
That is true. Yes, it either continues on or the lease gets extended. There's options to extend, or it's used for something else, or it's returned for grazing land, yes.
Okay, so minimum of 30 years with an option to extend beyond that. Okay, thank you.
You actually didn't
I think
answer
it's
that.
20.
You didn't answer that. Is it 30 years?
I think it's 20 years, sir, with options to
How do you
extend.
not know that?
Because I have a lot of facts in my head.
Oh, come on. Wow, that's a really good answer.
It's a minimum of 20 years. Okay, I'll just keep. This is thanks. I don't kind of just want to do Q&A. Sir in the blue.
Seems, I mean, I don't really know much about government doings, but it seems to me this is kind of backwards. Should all these studies be made public to the people before anything is approved?
Exactly.
This is not fully approved yet by the city, so as Matt was saying, they're requiring that we do all these studies, and then it goes to the city, and then the city has to check off on
So this
everything.
isn't a foregone conclusion?
Yes and no. It's both and.
Like I said before, it's a permitted use, but it's a regulated use. So they're gonna have to demonstrate compliance with the development code standards and the conditions in the memorandum of understanding,
And who are they
which go above and
demonstrating
beyond.
this to? The city? The city council or?
Okay, so you may have been reading about some of the public hearings that are happening outside the city limits on solar projects. Their development code requires a special use that is approved by their planning and zoning commission. That's not the case in the city. It is permitted by right in urban ranch zone property, which this is. However, there is still a development review process, a permitting process that takes place to ensure that the project is sensitive to the surrounding area. So we mandated that they do a viewshed impact analysis. They showed you a couple slides on that. They're gonna have to do a grading and drainage plan. They're gonna have to provide a landscape plan. They're going to have to coordinate with Fort Huachuca, Fish and Wildlife Service, make sure that any security lighting complies with our outdoor light control standards. Basically all the factors that get considered as part of a development approval are met before a permit on the site plan is granted. Subsequent to that, they'll be going through their building permitting process to demonstrate compliance with our building and life safety and fire codes, and that's a separate review. And so we're not even at the beginning of this. They're offered this meeting as an opportunity to help connect with you, the residents that surround this property, to answer your questions and provide their contact information as this moves further along. They're trying to be transparent here. The city, of course, is a public agency. Everything we do is in the sunshine. Records are public. You can request. We don't have anything in our possession yet in terms of their development application that's forthcoming. But when it gets delivered, that is public record that is available for inspection.
So residents of the community, who do we need to talk to if we want to fight this? Would it be city council, or is it going to be at the county level? City.
Okay, so fight what? Like
Having this put in our backyard.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of unanswered questions, like property values, fire hazards, just a lot of stuff they say. Maybe watershed.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna be able to answer that, the city's not gonna be able to answer that, and they're not gonna be able to answer that until after we've had the impact already.
Sir, I don't know if that's true. The intention of this meeting is to hear everybody's concerns and to see what we need to do to assuage those concerns.
Can I ask you some questions on what you were just saying about all this stuff that's gonna be done and all these?
So we have a couple
Environmental
people
things?
that had their hands up,
Yeah.
can we let them go
And
first?
again, this is really a developer
You were
meeting. I'm just here to
talking.
kind
I
of
wanna
witness
ask
the
you
discussion.
questions on what you said.
And
Are we gonna be hearing about all of these things you said are gonna be done? Are we gonna hear about it? Are we gonna be able to come to meetings about it? Or are they gonna do it and we're gonna hear about it at the end?
okay, so site plans are administratively approved, ultimately by our Development Review Commission. They are not approved by council. But again, if you have particular concern about what kind of landscaping they're gonna employ, what the drainage is gonna look like, all that's contained within their application. And you can review that application and come to me if you have a particular concern that you think is overlooked as part of their overall submittal. But this is really a precursor to the formal application process to enlighten you on their project and respond to your questions. And I'd like to maybe take a step back and let them maybe start with the man in the hat on the side.
Yeah, take it away.
Yeah.
Man in the hat.
One thing I just wanted to respond, this is what happens when you don't want to be behind the curve of what's going on, and you want to be ahead of the curve right now. So people want to understand what is going on, because as you're moving forward, we're going to end up being behind the curve and trying to catch up on what you guys are doing.
Exactly.
But my question to you is this: the best batteries, what kind of batteries are you going to use?
We're still determining that technology, and it'll be made in America, and it will also be approved by Fort Huachuca. And it will use lithium iron phosphate technology.
Lithium iron, yeah.
Is that hazardous?
It is not hazardous in its operational state. If it does catch fire, there are hazardous gases. There have been that's not true. There have been 4 lithium iron phosphate battery fires in the last 2 years. As of 2020, no, I should say since 2021. As of 2021, all the technologies that we use have switched to lithium iron phosphate. The previous ones used nickel, manganese, cobalt, which is different and much more dangerous.
Is the EPA, do they consider that to be hazardous, the battery you just mentioned?
The lithium iron phosphate,
Yes.
if it catches fire, there are hazardous gases.
No, that's not what I asked. I asked about the EPA. The EPA, does the EPA look at what you just described as the batteries? Are they hazardous?
The batteries, as they're installed and operational, no.
Okay, thank you for that. And to add on to that, where are these BESS batteries going to go, and how many acres is it going to cover?
8 acres? Oh, hold on a sec. So the batteries are going to go right here. And it's about 8 acres, right, Tom? It's about 8 acres. It's right here.
South of the substation. South of the existing substation.
Yeah. Can I have the noodle back? Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe it does work. Oh, there we go. Can you see the little red dot? That's where the batteries will be.
What are all those other colored things up there?
Solar panels.
Those are the solar panels, all those colored?
Correct.
What's the difference? You've got different colors, what do they mean?
There is no difference. It's just how they're blocked. So they're blocked to different inverters. It's how we did the layout and the design. There's no difference. Yes, ma'am.
So I apologize if this has been addressed earlier. Has anybody talked about what happens when you clear all this, 1,000+ acres? And we are a very windy environment. What's that gonna do with dust? And can you tell me about the noise level that's gonna be generated by having 8 acres of inverters and transformers and all the other equipment necessary to deal with these batteries? And what about lighting? We're a dark sky community. How is the lighting going to be affected? And one more, just thinking about wildlife movement, I'm assuming this is all going to be fenced in some way?
It's going to be fenced, but it's going to have wildlife-friendly fencing. So it'll be, excuse me? Like what?
Like the border wall.
I don't think so. It's not going to be the border wall. It's just deer fence, and it has an 8-inch gap at the bottom of it, so little critters and deer can still jump over it.
Okay, so dust, battery noise, lighting,
Lighting, there is no lighting. The only time there's lighting if there's a serious emergency and they're working out there at night, which very rarely happens.
but it doesn't work.
Very, very, very rarely happens.
During construction too?
During construction, no lighting at night. No, none.
Some research on this, just really quick, when it comes to like serious emergency that you might be speaking of. BESS failures, there's actually an entire study on it. You just look up BESS failure rate, the first thing that pops up is a website dedicated to studying how BESSes fail and why they fail and what happens when they do. The most, what you guys are talking is describing a thermal runaway of a lithium ion cell, which is exceptionally rare. I'm not gonna lie to you, most of them are unidentified. It's what happens when something gets destroyed beyond recognition. The majority is an unidentified thing, right? But it's still an extremely low number. Out of the, I mean, you can see all the information, it's right there. As we build more and more higher capacity ones, the failure rates have only gotten lower and lower. In fact, the ones that we have identified as a thermal runaway, because most of the failures are complete, are just, they fail, and they don't do anything, and some guy comes in and swaps them out, right? Only 11% of the failures that have unidentified, which is not the majority, are thermal runaways. So, with the chance of it being a failure at all, right? No, not every single failure that you see is going to be a result of a fire. Only 11% of them.
And
Just for the record.
And if it does break down, it's only going to outcast hydrogen.
Sodium, hydrogen batteries, I don't know if they're operational. Have you looked into that? They're operational yet.
Lithium
Yeah,
ion.
they're not operational yet. These are lithium iron phosphate. The failure rate, and I'm going to go back to your question, Sam. The failure rate of the lithium iron phosphate batteries is very low. Like I said, the previous technology that was used before 2021, the nickel, manganese, cobalt, had a much higher failure rate. Its ignition rate was almost 200 degrees Fahrenheit lower than the lithium iron phosphate batteries. These batteries are seriously tested to prove that they're not going to burn. There have been some fires, and there are really unique reasons on why there have been some fires that do not apply here and will not happen. Okay, ma'am, your question, dust.
dust, now that you're gonna clear 1,000+ acres of vegetation, that is presumably helping to hold the topsoil in place when our winds pick up as they do in the spring. Noise mitigation, I'm assuming all these devices around the battery storage generate some sort of noise, and,
Lighting.
What was the last one?
Right, she said lighting.
Oh, lighting, we just lighting, okay. So Arizona Department of Environmental Quality requires that we regulate dust during construction. Once
What
construction,
about after construction?
after construction, we hire a specialist to look at the soil and determine what the best seed mix to put down. There is a project.
Who's gonna water it? I just want to see.
We're not gonna water it. We will not water it. That would be crazy.
Then how do you get the seed mix?
So they take specific, they look at the soil, they put it down at the right time. I'm trying to find the right photo for you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this photo right here is in Pinal County. It's not here. But this is a seed mix that we put down that did grow. We are required by DEQ before we get our notice of termination to have a 70% ground cover.
Under the panel?
Under the panel, correct.
And are you going to keep the quarter-mile, whatever, between Homestead, or what are you gonna do with that?
We're not touching that. That's all staying wild. It's not ours. The only thing that we have access to, it's easier to go back this way, is the land where the solar panels are. We don't have access to any of the other land. So that will stay wild.
The noise was the other question.
Noise, yes, thank you. Noise, trying to remember the exact details, we've done lots of noise studies. 1,000 feet from an inverter, the inverter sound is the same thing as this quiet refrigerator. So those sounds don't emanate from very far, and it's very similar to a battery system.
And seeing one more, if I can add on, since you got the slide up, where it says site plan, expected completion January 2027. Which is what, 4 months away? So all these studies you're talking about are supposedly gonna be done by then?
That's the plan,
And
yes.
submitted and reviewed and in 2 months? Is that right?
That November to January is the target, so it could be more towards January. Yes, ma'am.
So, what is the square footage of the BESS buildings on 8 acres, and is it completely concreted?
It is not completely concreted.
And the height, please?
The height is 9 feet, and the batteries are spaced 8 feet from each other. Typically, it's on piles, so you put piles in the ground, and then you set the batteries on piles.
And it's on concrete?
Those piles are often
The dirt.
like in the dirt or set in concrete. It depends on the soils. We do geotechnical analysis to determine the best option.
Do you know what the dimensions are of that?
Of the battery containers,
Yeah, there's 2 BESS side by side, right?
it depends on what technology you use. Some are 2, some are 4. Tom, what's the dimension?
Containers like 8 feet by 35 or 40 feet.
Just like a shipping container.
It's like a shipping container.
So, the size of shipping containers, so there's gonna be 4 on 8 acres, or 6, or 12?
Batteries do leaks.
These do not leak. And there's lots of stormwater prevention.
No, I would like to know if possible, I'm sorry, what the building will look like, the battery, the BESS.
So think of storage containers. There's just a bunch of storage containers that are on that 8 acres. So see this?
Because 8 acres is a lot of space for.
I know, yeah, it's a lot. Why?
So how many storage containers are we looking at? 30, 40?
So these are what they look like, right here. How many do you think?
Let me look up, I have the number, let me look it up.
Okay.
It'll be shown on the site plan when it's submitted.
So do you have an approximate?
He's gonna look it up right now.
I'm sorry,
Our engineer's gonna look it up right now.
I can't hear what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, sir.
For orientation, I'm not really oriented real well on that map. Would you show me where the school is with all those children?
Yeah.
Yes.
And does that worry the fire department any?
That's an old aerial.
It's an old area, but the
That's
school's down here.
That's CMAX. That's not,
That's not?
no.
Is it right here? Help me out. Okay, it's farther away then.
What's that distance?
It's a little over a mile.
There's a scale down.
And I'm just gonna add to that, as far as, if these batteries were to catch on fire, which is very, very, very unlikely, they're not gonna burn from container to container, so one container will burn and it will not catch fire to the next container, so it's not as if you see a massive fire that is gonna, run away, I should say.
And it won't spread to the ground either, right? Is there much?
What was that?
And it won't spread to the ground?
The idea is that all the firefighting efforts are spent to make sure that it doesn't spread beyond the container itself.
So is it gonna be cleared around all the time?
They're gonna be what?
Is then the land around cleared? So it's
Yes,
not-
it is, yes. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, I have 2 very important things I'd really love for you guys to talk about. One is if we have rains such as we have this year, our monsoons have been heavy. Yes, we do have bouts of drought also, but we are not even allowed to go into our home because these roads get closed off there at Horse Thief Draw because it floods. The amount of water and erosion that's going to come off of that onto Mosen Road is going to be beyond getting in. There's another road we can get in, but it would take me to go all the way around 40 to 45 minutes to get to my home. So, how do you prepare for this type of thing? Do you build that up? Because with that erosion under those solar panels, I'm afraid it's going to become worse. So that's my first question. My second question would be, we have so much traffic already on Mosen Road. It's now 45 miles an hour. When we turn and make a right-hand turn from the 90 onto Mosen Road, we're going to hit the road that you guys make that's accessible for you. Is the city planning, are you going to help plan to make an extra road or turn lanes to get into your access?
Yes, we're required to do a traffic impact study and also required to get permits from the county, and so all of that will be done to their standards and requirements.
Okay.
And you will be able to review the traffic impact study. Once the project is built, there won't be much traffic out there at all. There'll be occasional O&M truck and that's it.
And the water, what do we do? Because our water goes from there to the San Pedro River.
Right.
That San Pedro River affects many. It affects our cattle, which a lot of people make a living off of. It affects all of our smaller critters. It affects crop production, many different things. It also helps with our well water, which is massive here. So water impact is massive to a lot of us. So I would really like to hear what kind of plan is going into that.
So we're doing hydrology studies, and there will be stormwater detention, and that water is required to be detained such that there will be no contamination, and in addition so that there is no change to off-site hydrology. There's pretty extensive design that goes into that. And all of that will be available on the site plan drawings that we submit to the city.
So you guys plan to put barriers or some type of erosion?
There will be stormwater detention basins, and so they're designed to catch the water, and then it will filtrate and flow out as needed, but such that there's no overflow and there's no change to water flow off-site.
How do you do this when you're running on a wash? And I'm not being facetious. I'm just really very nervous about water. I mean, you guys live in Colorado. You're nervous about water too. So we see the impacts of what water has done. We are a very agriculture-based county.
Yeah.
And this water is how a lot of us provide a living for most of us.
Yes, we understand.
So, I'm very nervous with this because this runs on a wash. And when the wash comes through, they are scary.
They are scary. I've seen them. My car got washed away in a flash flood, literally.
Yeah. And that's why we closed the road. So
We have civil engineers on staff that will be reviewing the information they submit to make sure that your concerns are addressed.
I wish
before
you guys
a
would
permit
do
is
that for
issued.
the city because it's taken like 100 years for them to work on it. And we're in a severe drought, so +1 + 1 equals. I'm really nervous about the water.
We have civil engineers who are evaluating this, and we can talk with you more specifically about it as that work progresses. Sir, in the back, you've had your hand up for a long time.
Besides the very slim chance that our electric prices may drop by 0.5%, what are the community benefits to this? How are we, the constituents, going to be? What's the benefit to us?
Are you asking how does it benefit you?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
I think the biggest benefit is the tax benefit to the city, which could potentially help the roads, and the tax benefit to the county. That's how the cities and the counties, that's how they fix roads and infrastructure, and it goes into the schools also.
I thought this is on state land though, not.
It's on state.
State land goes to schools.
So the money from the state land goes to the schools. Let me show you guys something. So this is the tax breakdown based on the value of the project right now. This is the annual taxes that go to the county and to the city.
Where can we get this? Because, well, we can't read that.
What was that?
Where is this available to us? Because we cannot read that.
Do you want to come up closer?
No, we want paper.
We want that study. We want that.
It should be on
Oh, you want a copy of the study?
website so we can have access when we need to get to it.
We will develop a website that will create access to information for you all.
When it should be something ongoing, not waiting till everything's been decided now so we can continue to ask questions, give you our input.
Yes, that's the point of this meeting, is to hear your input.
Right, but there are questions that could come out with more information that you will be putting out before everything's locked and has a bow tie or something tied. We want this information easily accessible and ideally on 2 sites.
We will work on making a website and we will continually update it with information, and you guys have us to call whenever you want. Our intention is to make ourselves available to you to answer questions and to work with the community to hear what we can do.
But we have to know, okay, the few of us here, maybe people listening to the whole radio, this is something that needs to get out to the whole city, county, because it is going to affect everything. And if the photovoltaic panels are made of heavy metals and that could leach, when we have the monsoons, that's one more issue with water that we need.
So the panels, I understand the concern about the panels leaching into groundwater or just being on the ground. We do not leave the panels on the ground. The panels that are broken are taken away and they are recycled. The county and subsequently the city are requiring that we do regular testing of the soils to make sure that there's no contamination from the panels.
What can we do to prevent it to the best of scientific, technological standards? And when you mentioned, it's not an environmental impact study. So when you say environmental study or whatever that qualifies, we'd like to know what that entails. What specific things are you looking at if it's not a whole EPA request required?
So there are a lot of things that the county and the city require to make sure, and the state for that matter, to make sure that we're in environmental compliance.
Right.
We have to follow all of those.
Right. Okay. Then whomever here, whether it's you as the company, Matt, you as part of the city or the county, how do we gain access to this information again before everything is tied up and ready to go? These are the questions that we may not know to ask.
Right, and the point of this meeting, we don't have all that information yet, right? So the point you guys are saying, you wish you knew about this earlier before it's all buttoned up. It is not buttoned up. We're here to listen to your questions and hear your concerns because it's not buttoned up. So if there's things that the community would like us to work with, we're here to work with you.
But we cannot always form questions if we don't have information. Okay, what are you looking at? Oh, the amount of, I don't know, lead, let's say. You're looking at lead levels. Okay, let us know what you're looking for so that we can form the questions.
So my suggestion.
I can't.
So we can organize the community.
So we can inform the community, then we can organize, or at the same time, but inform the community, educate us.
A bona fide conduit to these people. Otherwise, you've got helpless shelter.
So I've been hearing this all night. Why don't you guys just put up a community portal, advertise it on the City of Sierra Vista's website, where you can publish all of these documents from tonight's briefing, anything new you've got, allow the community to ask questions in real time.
Good idea.
How hard is that?
That's exactly what we're here
We'll work with
for.
our public affairs office to develop, a website for this project, given the significance of interest. And we normally don't do that in site plan, but we will for this project. Just give us a little time. Again, it's gonna be dependent upon us receiving the information before we can get posted. We have nothing. Yeah, they're trying to be transparent here and get in front of your questions to influence the design, to address any issues and concerns that you raise up front. The cake is not baked, as they said. They're in the design stage. And so this is an opportunity for you to raise everything that's been talked about tonight so we can make sure it gets addressed as they're moving through the permitting process.
We have the information to form the questions.
It's a little bit of a chicken and the egg, right? So you're here to start learning about the project. We're learning about your concerns. We're going to put together information so that you can ask more questions.
Thank you.
Sarah in the hat. That's you.
So what I've gathered right now is, when talking to this gentleman over here on the sidewalk, what you were saying earlier was you guys are trading back and forth on information, what they're asking from you to start this plan, right?
I wouldn't say we're trading information. They're giving us the list of requirements of what they need.
And you have
from
to
us.
provide to pass forward into the start of construction, correct?
Correct.
So what I'm asking right now is, I understand, I'm assuming you have a SWIP plan all put together, you have flood control, everything's going to be put together, prior to engagement.
100%, yes.
So what's the process that we need to do to stop this before it gets too far? That's what I was wondering.
My job is not.
No, I understand. Earlier when you were asked this question, you gave us a 50-50, I don't know. I understand you're here to answer questions. We got you to a room where we can actually hear you speak at the moment, which I appreciate that. But right now, I want to know, where is this going? Is this being pushed through completely? Are we here just to sit back and ask questions so we can be happy when we go home, just to find out that you're going to break ground in 4 months?
One, we're not breaking ground in 4 months. It's over a year out. My hope is that we can work with you all guys, work with everybody to address your concerns. And I realize that not everybody wants this. There are people who do want solar versus gas in their community, right?
So back to the understanding, I understand that you say that you don't know if it's going through or not. But once you pass through this
I
paperwork...
hope it's going through. I mean, I never know when someone might shut something down.
If they meet the standards, they will get a permit.
Of course.
It's not a zoning decision, is what I'm trying to explain.
No, of course. And just for the other people around here, through I'm guessing a multi-million-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company that you work for?
I wouldn't say it's a multi-billion-dollar company.
Multi-billion-dollar companies have no problems meeting the expectations of what they're coming by right now. They've already spent the money for the land. They've already gone through with it. What they're doing right now is they're just giving a short meeting in between to make sure that they touch base with the community.
I would not say that's true of our company. We are a small company. I've been with the company since it was 3 people. We care a lot about our projects, and we do care about the communities, and we care about building good projects.
So I understand on your side that you don't want to tell us how to stop you in your tracks. We totally understand that. We're all here to, we all push forward. We don't want to hear that. But from this gentleman right here, is there anything that we can do on our side to make sure, as a citizen of Sierra Vista, I'm assuming, right?
You can provide oversight as to whether they are fulfilling the development standards that are laid out in the development code, conditions in our memorandum of understanding that go above and beyond, again, those baseline standards that match the same stipulations that the county imposes as part of their special use permit.
So we have to figure out whether or not they're not, what you approve. So when it goes to you and it complies, we have no say after that.
Our only avenue is to go in front of every city council.
It's not discretionary.
Express our discontent.
Yeah, I don't mean to be abrasive in it. It's just what I'm asking. I'm looking for if there's any other type of way. I know a lot of people here have their property. I know a gentleman who left earlier because he had an emergency. He just bought his property backed up there so he could ride his horses. It was his dream. He has spent everything he has had on that.
Yes.
And now, coming down to the line after a couple of months of having that and getting his horses for his kids, now we're sitting here and he's got to learn that. He's so distraught sitting there right now that it's just unbelievable. I was asking just, is there any way, other than going against the city, is there any way the city can work with its people to make sure that we can have this land as the way it is? Instead of
It's
looking...
a conversation with the state, and their mandate is to yield the most amount of revenue that they can from the leases or the sale of our property. That is their
Well, and you know,
statutory.
the people who were given information were county. We're all in the county who live out here. Anybody who's city wasn't given this information because this was approved by the city, not the county. We live in the county. So now we need to go to the city and say, this is what we're having issues with as a county. So,
The zoning's been in place for many years.
right, but a lot of these letters went to us homeowners who
It's
live
the
in
most
the county.
effective residents, right.
Okay, so we don't usually go to city meetings because we're part of the county. So now we need to make sure that we go to the city and say, this is what we are experiencing.
We have different regulatory structures, so yeah, there's a difference between the city and the county and how we
Correct.
process.
Correct.
If something happens in the county, the city is not responsible for the county, right? If something happens now in the county, okay?
Is it okay that I call myself here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is their meeting, I appreciate
So
that.
that's just for somebody really stupid. The Sierra Vista, it's all of Sierra Vista land, and it's all by the Sierra Vista city, right?
Yes.
It's within
So
our
we're in
republic.
county, we're Cochise County. So if something happens to us because of this, you guys gonna say, well, go to you county, and the county's gonna say, well, it's not our problem, it's their county. So we're gonna be a banana, going from one day to another.
We do a lot of coordination with the county, we have IGAs in place for fire service,
But then I have another
for
question.
public safety, we have a metropolitan planning organization on roadways, we are constantly coming together.
I don't understand when you're so natural protection. You're making an extra road right next to our Horses Draw Road. You're gonna tear everything down just to go down to make an extra road because it's in the city. And ours is right next to it, and our road is horrible. And that's where all the water's going. I wonder when you make your road, how it's gonna affect our road.
We're putting the road to the north only for the reason so that there's not construction traffic impacting the use of your daily road. That is the sole reason.
It's right next to our Horses Road. I see it.
It's farther north than it's shown on here, and if you guys want us to use your road and improve your road, we're also happy to do that.
I mean, you're destroying natural area when there's something there anyhow. I don't understand this, and it's really bad. And I'm wondering if you, when you make this road, how you build it, if it's not gonna affect ours, even when you say it's 100 meters or 100 yards, whatever you do.
We are going to design it such that it will not affect your road, and if it does, we're going to make it right. Sir in the blue, you had your hand up for a while.
Let's say this is up and running, what percentage of the energy that's generated goes back to Sierra Vista?
I can't tell you the answer, not exactly. It's all, so generally how electricity is
Or is
used.
it all going all the way to Tucson?
None of it's going to Tucson, it's all being used locally. Yes, sir.
With all due respect, and I mean it, and you also, all respect, okay? I'm a rabble rouser, okay? You need to hear, this is for everyone here. Stay on guard. You're doing the right thing, you're asking the right questions. Okay, let me tell you my story. I'm from Reno, Nevada. MGM Grand was coming into town with 3,000 rooms. Everyone voted it down because there wasn't enough water. 1 year later, they were building it. There was no more voting or anything. Use your own imagination. It happened. It got approved. What was the consequence? We all had to put a brick in our toilet. That was back when it was 3 gallons of flush. Now it's 1.6, if you can't put another brick in there. Okay, that's it. Stay on guard.
I'll just say though that this project does not use water to operate. There is water during construction, that is true. Yes, sir. In the white back there, I'll get back to you in a second.
These are lovely slides. Can we get access to them?
Yes, you can.
Are they on your company's website?
They are not on our company's website, but that's what we're going to work on, is creating a website.
I can make you one. I'm a website.
We'll post them on our Engage page.
Sir?
You're showing your panels. There's water underneath them.
More water.
That's where the washers are going.
Yep.
So where, if you don't do something to stop the water, when it rains, you're gonna lose those panels. I don't care. Water will take out a lot of stuff.
Those panels most likely are gonna be anchored in by I-beams and or concrete.
They will be, it will be I-beams, it will not be concrete, and they are designed such that they can handle the flow of water. So in the same way that you design a bridge, you design it such that it can handle some erosion. It is the same with these panels.
This, to the city, this is not being built in a flood zone,
We're all flood zones. Yeah.
This is not a FEMA regulated flood zone, but yes, there's significant water out there.
It's all Arizona trust land?
It is all Arizona trust land.
So,
They're not selling it, they're leasing it, and all of that money goes through
are
to
they
the
gonna let us
schools.
run on there?
What was that, sir?
Are they gonna let us run on there, or ride our dirt bikes or anything, or our horses?
No.
No? Oh, wow.
Sir, in the back.
Isn't this piece of property right next to Tribute, which we've been told could not be developed until the 100-year water adequacy certificate was issued?
I think that wasn't a water issue, right, Matt, with Tribute?
So the water company is going through a state review of their water adequacy certificate. And right now, you cannot plat a new subdivision on the Tribute property. And that project, as you know, Castle and Cook has left the community. There's no news about it being up for sale at this time. We don't anticipate construction or a sale happening before ADQ's review is complete.
But this is not
This
impacted
is
by the
not a
same
subdivision.
requirement.
This is not a subdivision.
Black hat.
Going back to the Winchester, we started off, you started showing the Winchester projects. Is this in any way tied to those Winchester projects?
It's tied to them in that we own them, and we hope to own this one too.
So I noticed on your slide here, they were located in different locations outside of the slide you're showing us right now. Is that correct? In the beginning, when you had shown, I believe it might have been like maybe green shaded.
This one?
Nope. No. In the beginning, when you were talking and nobody could hear you, and it's nothing, no. In the beginning, you had showed the Winchester one, the one that was identifying Winchester.
This is
Now that
Winchester.
might be Winchester, okay. But there was another slide that you had that were shaded areas.
Yeah, shaded areas for which inverters they'd be tied to.
That was for the San Rafael project. That is this project. That is not part of this presentation. That is a map. That is this one.
Okay, it wasn't that one.
Okay, I'm
It
running
was
out of
the one you
options.
had in the beginning when we were at the other location. You had showed us something that was green shaded. It looked like one might have been off of Charleston, maybe Drake or Dake Road, something like that.
It could only be this
Okay.
one or the other
Then,
one.
okay, then the Winchester. Where are they located at?
This is
What roads?
the Wilcox Playa, and
Okay.
this is Airport Road that comes west out of the city of Wilcox.
Okay, and so those are the locations?
Those are the locations,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Just clarification. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ma'am?
So maybe I'm a little confused here, but the way I'm seeing this is it's pretty much at this point, once the studies are done, or maybe even before they're done, it's gonna happen. But is there gonna be an opportunity, another opportunity for all of us and the people who couldn't make it tonight, who I'm sure agree with us, do we get any more say, vote? If all of us are against this, I don't see how it can be jammed down our throats regardless. I mean, BLM land is the public's land, state trust land, that's our public lands too. And I thought we had the ultimate say over what happens to our public lands. So is there going to be another meeting that we can vote? Or, you know, does this just get jammed down our throat in January or whenever you get your studies in?
So this is state land, it's not BLM land.
Okay, state land,
And
it's still our public land.
it is. And the state land, the state of Arizona, uses the land for its highest and best purpose. I don't necessarily always agree with that, but that is their mandate. And over the course of this project, they get a significant amount of money. That money goes into the public school system and it goes into the university system. And that's why, because it keeps the public schools funded.
Okay, so, you know, I've heard that, well, Cochise County's broke, we don't have enough money for all the funding. We've got Space Force coming. That is gonna generate a whole lot more revenue than this solar stuff, which once it's built, the jobs then dwindle down to just whatever it takes to keep it
Wait,
running.
you have space for what, did you say?
Space Force.
Yeah.
On Fort Huachuca. Space Force. That's what's gonna generate the income if Cochise County is hurting this bad, that it wants to destroy our desert and our lands, which is short-term revenue from what I've read, because once it's constructed and up and running, it doesn't take a whole lot of people to keep these things going, whether they turn into data centers or not. So
There are no data centers. I want to make that super clear. There's no turning a solar facility into a data center.
And that's true, you're saying that, because that is true.
That is
Because
true.
we're not a data center, that would be like a Google, that would be Amazon coming in. That's a totally different story, totally different company, because you guys are separate.
We are separate.
So that statement is true.
Yes.
Now, are you going to provide the energy?
Yeah.
Now or in the future for a data center, like a Google, like an OpenAI, like an Anthropic, to come in here and to build a data center and use the energy from your project? Is that going to happen? That's where we're trying to find out right here.
Where are you gonna make your money?
Where's this energy going? Because if it's coming in and it's going to a data center, we need to wake up, guys.
Yep.
If that's gonna happen. We
Yes.
need to wake up.
Yes.
But if it's not, this is green energy, and the purpose is, this is good, we're gonna help your community, then we'll consider it, but don't put it in places that are going to affect other people's lives. We got plenty of land out here. We got other locations that we could put it on, but we're affecting people's lives here.
Yeah.
So if it's gonna be used for a data center, we need to know that, because we're gonna find out. And you think it's loud right now. Wait till we find out if it's going to be. I'm not saying you're saying it's going to APCO. But is APCO going to use it for a data center? That's what we need to know.
I don't know of any data center. So
And there's a
that's
lot,
all
I
can
don't
speak
know.
to.
You guys are the company that does the batteries, and you don't even know what type of batteries you're gonna use.
We don't know what type of batteries we're going to use yet because we have to work with Fort Huachuca to figure out what the best technology that has the least impact on them is.
What about the impact on us?
Whatever battery technology we choose, it's going to be the same from a citizen perspective. It's going to be lithium iron phosphate batteries. It's like the difference between buying a...
You don't live here, we do.
I understand
I
that.
live right by this. This is not what I want to see.
Can you see the substation that's out there?
Yeah, I can. We drive by it every day.
From where? Do you want to show me?
The substation I'm talking about is the one that you're talking about, I that I don't want this in my land, I don't want this here, and you keep telling us you don't know all these answers to everything, does not make me feel like.
Because we're still working on the project.
You talk about a memorandum.
Let me hold on a second. You guys, I'm gonna say something. You guys want us to come here and you complain that we're not here soon enough. We're not here with a buttoned up project. We're here to talk about what we're doing and what we can do to work with the community.
How long have you been planning this?
A
How many
few
months?
6 months.
Okay, and we're just now hearing
But
about
we
it.
can't come and talk to you until we start to do work and understand the
We
project.
should have
Or
known
there's
you were
nothing
even
to talk
thinking
about.
it. We had 6 months that you didn't let us know about this. You know?
We're working on developing it. Sorry for blackout.
Can we put them in parking lots maybe? We've got a Walmart over here that could use that shade, it'd be really nice.
Unfortunately, the scale,
We don't mind solar. There's lots of.
I agree, it's a great idea, but unfortunately, the level at which the world needs energy right now for multiple reasons is well beyond what can be done in a Walmart parking lot.
So we know that. So, but as far as here, this, can we not make it somewhere else?
Your grid's
So-
already there.
The reason why it's here is because the grid is here. That is why. It's where they can take power. It's hard to find locations where there's availability on a power line where they can take power. It's very complicated in that sense.
Does it have anything to do with being right there by the substation?
It's exactly why. 100% why. Sir?
Are there gonna be power, lines put out as a result?
There will be no power lines, and that's why it's going here, because there's an existing line that runs here. So all the power is going into the substation and then staying on that exact same line. That's why this site was selected. Sir in the green?
I'm gonna be nice. Going back to the BESS batteries real fast, has Torch contacted any independent homeowner insurance companies or done an insurance impact regarding these BESS batteries being close to our houses? I know you said the batteries, there's a very small percentage of failures, and out of that percentage of failures, there's even a smaller percent that they run away and catch fire. But it's really hard to get homeowners insurance here already because of the fire hazards and having flooding and having 800 megawatts worth of battery within a mile of our residences, I think may have an impact on future insurance policies being issued or our premiums.
That's an interesting question that I do not know the answer to.
I have an answer.
Please.
In my neighborhood, myself personally, it doubled. My insurance doubled.
Because
my neighbors, because of what's happening in my area also, in the county. But also, my neighbors, they canceled. You can't even get insurance. It's true story.
What is
Can't even
happening?
get insurance.
What is happening in your neighborhood, sir?
Solar panels. Solar panels.
Where?
Huachuca City, not too far from here, county. Baba Kamari.
The Baba Kamari project.
The Baba Kamari
The one that wasn't supposed to be for a data center, but we have them on record, the people of Culinera saying it's for a data center. So false information is going out across the county saying, no, this is supposed to be for our co-op here. I have a question. Is our co-op, are they aboard on this? Does anybody even know? You know, our company, everybody who's tied to the co-op, are they aboard with this solar panel project? Ask that question. Find out. Do you know that question?
Is
Are
your
they
co-op? Are they on board?
Are they on board with this? Are they in agreement?
Yes, this power is going into the APCO substation, so yes.
And they
The
are-
Baba Kamari project is interconnecting into Tucson Electric System.
I understand that. And that right there. But what had happened with our situation is it was being set up for a data center. And it was coming in with false information stating that it really wasn't. It was supposed to be for our community, or it was supposed to be going to Tucson. But we have them on record, we have the evidence, and they've been called out, and it was data center, guys. Data center.
This is not a
So we
data
got
center. There's no
This
data
might not-
center here.
This might not be the situation. That's one thing we're trying to find out. Because we know other companies can give the solar companies a bad name. Nothing wrong with solar, myself personally. Nothing wrong with the BESS, myself personally. But if it comes in, I call it stealth-like, so they can get the zoning, they can make it good for the community, and then all of a sudden you find out, oh my goodness, I thought this was supposed to be going for the benefit of our community, because you're saying it's supposed to be here, but you find out it's for a data center. And that's what I'm trying to find out, because is it going to be for a data center? That's why we need to put it on record, because you're going to be facing it down the line. If it's a data center, you're going to have a backlash. If it's not, and you're telling the absolute truth right here, then we're going to have locals that have a backlash as it is right now because of the location where it's at. But there's going to be issues. And it's not, I know it's a state level. I know we got to talk to Katie Hobbs about this. I know we have to talk about Chris Mays on this. I know when it comes to the city, when it comes to the county, what can we do? We can voice our opinions here.
Voted people who are on this wavelength,
Yeah,
not the
but
people we have now.
I understand that, Steve, but the one thing too, even with our board of supervisors, I gotta say this. If they are being presented with information that is very vague, we don't know what kind of batteries they are. Oh, we might talk about the EPA being hazardous material. Well, they are when they're sitting right here, but when they don't explode, because I know they are a tier 2 hazard according to the EPA. But if they're being presented wrong information, then, just like us, if we're being presented vague information here, and I don't know, that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting. They may be in that same exact position, because we gotta think, they're a business. They're a business.
The idea that we put in regulations, whether it's city, county, state, federal, that are stable, not the milk water that we our county supervisors put together. No. Think regulations that protect we, the citizens, our land, our water,
And
our air.
I agree with you with that, but as we have a city official right now, he's hearing the same information right now, and he's hearing a lot of, we don't know, we haven't done the studies yet, we'll get back to you. So he's being presented the information we are given right now, and we're trying to get answers. And that's why, for myself, I will stand with the BOS. I'll say BOS for the county right now, because they may be given information that is the vague also. You can only go by and make decisions on the information that you're given. One, you have to ask the right questions. You have to ask the right questions. Then you will get the answers. Then you will have it on record. And then somebody will be accountable. Like, for instance, she had talked about baseline. They're going to be doing soil testing. Is there going to be a baseline right here? Are we going to have a sample of the soil before and after they do the project? How is the cleanup going to take place here in 30 years? Are they going to sell the business as soon as they get this solar panels in here? Because that happens to a lot of people across America, and then all of a sudden, if somebody else changes hands, it starts all over again. We've got to ask the right questions.
Sir,
right here. Yes,
as far as what we do, some of it we do initially because we want to do the right thing, and then there's a whole lot of things that the city requires, or the county requires, or the state requires, that no matter who owns the project, they have to continue to do. We have no intention of selling this project. We are going to build the project, and we will own the project, and we will operate the project.
Are you guys going to provide a bond on the project for the surrounding community? Because you talk about the fires, they're not going to burn. The technology is good. What happens if a wildfire comes through there? What
Well, if a wildfire comes through, we're all in the same
We're fire
boat. prone.
Yeah, then it blows up because it's an explosion. We know it's not burning. It's an explosion, guys. It explodes. Okay? And then the surrounding areas, then you're going to get your fluoride, cyanide in the air. You're going to get your toxins, the carbon monoxide in the air, and the surrounding communities could be in harm. And guess what?
What's your name?
Our fire departments are not even prepared for this kind of hazard, guys. They don't have any training for this kind of hazard that these batteries can cause. Is that right, sir?
No, that's incorrect.
Thank you, thank you.
So,
What is the route that you guys have?
So, my name is Don Foster, I'm the fire marshal for the city. Hello, everybody. Take it easy on me, I'm a firefighter here. So, lithium-ion batteries, they're everywhere, right? All of you have in your phone right now. A lot of people have in their cars, humongous ones, right? They're everywhere. That's what the technology is. So, the fire department is pretty prepared to deal with those sorts of emergencies. And most kind of emergencies, we train constantly on different things. We interact with our partners. We have automatic gate with Fire District. And some of you people that live out off of Mosin, you guys see us out there, right? You guys are in the county, but you see city firefighters, right? Because we work together. We have automatic gate.
Fire District.
But you'll see us out there. We go out there all the time for house fires and medical calls and everything else. Irregardless of that. So we do train together. Lithium-ion batteries, again, it is a new technology, but it's not. So the understanding that I have, just based on, let's say, a Tesla, okay? Tesla has a pretty big battery in it. It's encased, completely compartmentalized underneath the car. If that were to catch fire, what happens is it has a thermal runway, which the gentleman in the back was talking about, and it generates heat. It does off-gas some toxic things, right? Like hydrogen cyanide, H2, hydrogen sulfate, and things of that nature. But the reality is that you have all that stuff in your house too. You have that in your car. So the amount of the toxins that we've gotten training on is about the same for like a Tesla would be for like a car that had internal combustion. Now I don't know exactly yet what you guys have in there and on the batteries that are
It's the same.
but there is training available for it. They will be providing training for local departments. But we also take it upon ourselves to do training too. Like there's a UL listed, or UL, you guys are all familiar with UL, right? Underwriter laboratories. There's training specifically on what we're talking about here. So that will be provided and pushed out to the department. And we're prepared, for things like that. Now, something catastrophic, like, the monument fire type of thing, nobody's gonna be able to deal with that with just local resources, but we're able to reach out, to higher levels of more resources if need be.
I've got a question. Does it require special equipment to fight a lithium-ion fire compared to a normal house fire?
Not in my opinion, no, because basically correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are one of the engineers here, right? So the main danger for us, for firefighters, is an explosion hazard. Just because it's a contained box, it's like a Connex box. And if we were just to let that go through thermal runaway, it's not necessarily the fire, it's the accumulation of like of the fuel within there, like the hydrocarbons and stuff. And when that's like in the enclosed container, it gets really rich. So you have to have like just the sweet spot for that to burn. And basically it just fills up and it gets too rich and it won't burn unless you introduce oxygen into it. And that's some of the things that they've looked at to try to mitigate. So they're able to vent that so it keeps it from exploding. And sometimes they do like, I'm not sure if you guys are gonna have like suppression and those kind of systems on, but there's a mix on that too. So basically the approach would be, to monitor it and prevent that from spreading. But the fact that they have them in containers and they're separated, and as far as I can tell on the map there, it's like a mile each, at least a mile from anything, I think.
It's at least a mile from anything.
So if we were going to pull up that to like a hazmat scene, we'd use like an emergency response guide for like a rail car, so that went off, or a tanker. they give you like initial areas to kind of evacuate and stuff on. I don't know that there's any in that book that's greater than that distance. And then another thing that I was thinking about looking at this is, again, I'm not for or against this, but I just want to talk a little about the wildfire issue that you guys were kind of thinking about. Right now, we don't have any access to that. Like, we can't really get a fire truck in there to put out a fire. But having a space like that we'd be able to get a little bit in there for sure. And I will be requiring them to have access that will be able to get a fire truck in there. So we're looking at something that will be all weather, wide enough for a fire truck, constantly maintained, and can support about 86,000 pounds. So we're looking at that stuff. I have not yet, all I've seen is just the site plan, but it does go through a rigorous review through the city. We're concerned about your safety. We're looking at that, and you know, if the fire thing is a concern, we are looking at that. Yes?
At the recent fire at the Surprise, Arizona site,
I can take this if
how
you
many
want.
men died?
None.
But I thought
I can take this too. I know a lot about this. 8 were injured, and that fire was a very unique situation. The firemen were not trained. It was a different technology, and they opened. It was a different battery technology. It was nickel manganese cobalt. I know exactly. We're using lithium iron phosphate. That was nickel manganese cobalt.
We're gonna call.
You said you did it. And sir, have you signed a non-disclosure agreement with these people?
I don't do this. I've never signed one with the city.
No, these with this company.
A city or a county
Period, what then with the city.
would never do that.
Usually it's the data centers that do that. You gotta really separate it out. You gotta say the solar panels are the solar panels, the BESS systems are the BESS systems. The data center is a whole nother game, guys, and it's coming. It's coming. It's in Wilcox also right now. I don't know if you guys are tied to the Winchester Wilcox. It's coming.
Responsible who built the Baba Kamari solar project? Like what company was behind that? Because I don't think it was Torch. Was it Torch?
No, it wasn't Torch.
It was not.
Who was behind it was an $80 billion investment company called D. Shaw that was in it right there. So, and
I can guarantee you never had a meeting like this to air things out, to let people know that when they're connecting to APCO. And don't get me wrong, if APCO ever decides to sell to a data center locally, the first step against that should be people like us
But
exactly people like us.
I want to inform you, APCO was part of the Baba Kamari. They wanted to be part of that also. And guess where that was going? Like I said, guys, it was going to a data center.
Through APCO?
That's where they were putting APCO was part of it. They were trying to make that deal with APCO. So that's why I wanted to know, where's APCO's energy going to go to?
That is also being sent to Tucson. That's connected to the Tucson grid as well.
Right, you have Tucson, but there were others that they wanted to expand. They wanted to do modifications, and they wanted to expand it for a data center.
Yeah, but connecting to APCO doesn't necessarily mean it's for a data center.
But where the energy source was going to was to a data center. We have the records.
Okay.
We have them on
Can
record.
I would like to interject for a moment.
Maybe like 10 more minutes?
You're not thinking about building a coal burning facility.
We're not doing coal. Would you rather coal? Sir?
I'd like to thank you very much for your delivery. I know this is a living project. It is by no means over. There's 1,001 moving parts on it. And intelligent, well-prepared, honest, forthright people can come to the right conclusion. And you've taken a lot of spirit from your chest, and so good on you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We just want to find out.
Yes.
Just to put some people's minds at ease,
In those containers that you're holding those batteries in, I'm assuming that you do have a fire suppression system and a containment system inside of that?
So what there is there are a couple different mechanisms. So the batteries there's a battery cell, there's a battery module, and then there's a container itself. So there are multiple measurement systems in there. So if the cell gets too hot, then the system automatically shuts off. And then if for some reason that failed, then the module shuts off, and then the actual container itself shuts off. In addition, there's a deflagration system. So if there's any sense that the gases are building up in the system, the deflagration system opens up and it releases those gases. So there's multiple checks and balances in place. And for example, this Surprise fire, the Arizona one, there were none of those. Again?
Sorry, one more. Are you outsourcing to local companies to build this, or are you guys coming in on hand?
We do not come in here and build this ourselves. We generally hire a contractor, and then that contractor works with local people as much as possible. So on our projects up in Cochise County.
Is it granite?
Is it granite?
Construction, that's a company.
No.
Who's the company?
So the main company who's building the project is called Flint Co., and then they work with local subcontractors.
Flint Co., where are they at?
Albuquerque?
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. They're out of Colorado. There's only a handful of companies that are qualified to build these facilities, so you have to be very specific, but then they can work with local subcontractors.
But wouldn't that be something just to train those people, so give something to the community?
So a lot of times they use.
Wait, and have somebody here in Arizona, give, like here, a company a chance to grow, and then say, okay, we'll take, when you go to another place, we have a company in Arizona instead of Colorado.
So there's similar things to that we do. There's an apprentice program where they bring in apprentices and teach people how to do things. So there is quite a bit of that goes on, but not at a massive company level.
Well, maybe that would be a good idea to say, okay, Sierra Vista is searching for jobs and companies. That would be something, say, hey, listen, we're going to do this, and we'll promise no data center. Okay? But maybe look into something like this and say, we're going to do a startup here. And help the company, the Sierra Vista here, the state, no, sorry, it's not my language.
Yeah.
But that's something, you would bring more jobs, and not only just jobs for right now, they would be longer here. Something to think about.
We definitely work with locals, and oftentimes we'll hold job fairs and that sort of thing and see how we can work with the local community as much as possible.
I'll plug them into the Southeastern Contractors Association as a resource.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, hire local as much as possible.
No, they're also making a main place here, like a sub place from Colorado. Open up another branch office.
Oh, I've got one last question. So what is Torch getting out of this? I know you're paying the lease, you're gonna own the facilities, the energy is gonna be yours, you're gonna sell it off, but I'm sure you're gonna make a profit on it. Is it gonna lower our energy costs any, or?
I can't say if it's going to lower your energy costs, but I can say that batteries and solar are the lowest cost of energy right now across the board. So, and we make money by selling the power, so that's what we're doing. Yeah. Hold on one second, ma'am. This gentleman has had a hand up for a while.
One question that hasn't been addressed today. Everybody's pinging at the city and the county, and why didn't we hear? Who from the state contacted you first about this project? Because that's who owns the property that didn't bother to communicate with the local communities. I'm curious as to who at the state level has been dealing with your company.
The Arizona State Land Department, the leasing department.
So that's where the complaint should be.
I've got her name. After this.
When you put those solars out, how long do they last? You have a lease for 20 years, right? How long do the solar batteries and the solar panels last?
So the panels typically last for 30 years. Some people say up to 35 years. The batteries last for around 20 years. And they're all appropriately recycled.